Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the newest member of your Minnesota Timberwolves, three-time NBA All-Star. Give it up for Jimmy Butler!
How's everybody feeling this morning? Just waiting for the okay here, carrying this live on TV today. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm Alan Horton, the radio play-by-play voice of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And first off, a huge thank you to everyone here at the Mall of America for showing up and joining us this afternoon to welcome Jimmy Butler to the Timberwolves. Also, a thank you to those of you watching on Fox Sports North and NBA TV, online at Timberwolves.com and NBA.com, and those of you listening on our radio flagship 830 WCCO and all across the Timberwolves radio network. Today we're pleased to welcome one of the newest members to the Twin Cities and the Timberwolves family. Last Thursday on draft night, the Timberwolves added one of the top two-way players in the NBA, acquiring three-time All-Star and 2016-17 All-NBA third-team selection, Jimmy Butler from the Chicago Bulls. In his first 4 seasons in the NBA with Tom Thibodeau as head coach, Jimmy developed into one of the NBA's top all-around players. He was named the NBA's most improved player during the 2014-15 season as he increased his scoring average by nearly 7 points a game. It was also that 2014-15 season he earned his first All-Star appearance and was named second team All-Defense. A native of Tomball, Texas, Butler named All-NBA this past season, averaging career highs in points, rebounds, steals, and assists. At 27 years of age, he joins the Timberwolves in the prime of his career, and alongside Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, has Minnesota sports fans rather excited for the upcoming season. To tip off today's press conference, we'll hear from head coach and president of basketball operations, Tom Thibodeau. Then we'll get some comments from general manager Scott Layden. Jimmy will have a few words, and then we'll open it up to some questions from the assembled media. Coach.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. Obviously, this is a big day for us. I want to recognize Becky Taylor for being here, her 2 grandsons, and of course, Karl, and also everyone else for just being here. This is a great addition to our team. Obviously, you don't get the opportunity to add a player like Jimmy very often, and I had the good fortune to see it happen right from the beginning, and none of us saw it coming. When he was at Marquette, I was an assistant coach in Boston, and Doc Rivers was on the board of directors, and he always talked about Jimmy, and we watched a lot of their games. Then the following year, I had gotten a job with the Bulls, and we were picking 30th, and I believe Boston was picking 28th. So I was really nervous because I know how much Doc liked Jimmy, and we had the good fortune for him to slide down to 30. And I look back, and 6 years have gone by very quickly. I recall the beginning, seeing a young guy walk into the gym. It was a lockout season, so we had about 3 days to get some work done. Very confident guy. And then when the season resumed, it was a very condensed schedule. He missed summer league, fall practice. But the one thing that stood out was that he and Luol Deng would come in every night to shoot. And I'd look down from my office, and I'd see a guy working like crazy. And Luol would always come into the office after. Jimmy was too shy at that time, and Luol would always rave about him. And then the first opportunity that he got to play was in Madison Square Garden against Carmelo. Luol was injured. He had not played a whole lot up to that point. Of course, that changed over time. And he went in there and he played great. And for a rookie to do that, it said a lot about him. But then the way he worked, that's what makes him so special. You know, obviously you can't do the things that he's done without having a lot of talent, but it's his drive and his intelligence, and he's never lost that. He's chased excellence from the day he got into the league to where we are today. And I think that's a great example. We have a great young core, obviously with Carl and Andrew, and we're excited to have Jimmy. He's one of the best two-way players. Watching him become a three-time All-Star, an Olympian, gold medalist, All-NBA, it's a tribute to the way he works and who he is as a person. He's a great person, he's a great leader, and we're thrilled to have him.
I also want to thank everyone for coming out and recognize Bernie Lee, who's Jimmy's agent, who came along here today as well. Carl, thanks for coming out. It's great to have you here. But this is a special day for our franchise. One of the things I am really excited about is the reunion of these two guys, because they had so much success together, and we look for that to continue here. When I think of Jimmy, I think of toughness, I think of hard work, I think of leadership. And that is something that is really going to help our franchise, our organization, our team, help the other players. And the last thing that sticks out in my mind about Jimmy is his unselfish play, both on the offensive end and the defensive end. The way he shares the ball makes everyone better. And the mark of a great player is how they affect the other players and what they do to make others better. So this is going to be great. Thank you.
I guess it's my turn. First of all, I like to thank all of y'all for being here. The city of Minneapolis and Minnesota as a whole has shown me so much love since I've landed here on Sunday. I'm so grateful for that. Everywhere I go, everybody's smiling. I think half the time it's because my face is all over the sides of buildings, which is an incredible feeling for a kid that's from Tomball. I like to thank Bernie as well. He's been a great help through this process. Carl for being here. He did not have to be here, but that just shows who he is. Thank you for that. My brother and my little cousin in the front row who nobody cares about, so I'll skip y'all. Tibbs, man, Tibbs has molded me into the player that I am today. He gets a lot of that credit, he really does. And I don't want to sit here and talk about him for 10 straight minutes because I can. When I came into this league as a kid, that's literally what I was. I did not know what I was getting myself into. And Tibbs let me know you have to work in order to make it each and every day. When nobody's looking, you're working. When the cameras are on you, you're working. And I've become halfway decent basketball player because of it. But the most important thing and what I really pride myself on is the cities that I love. And y'all will see me doing the most in this city to make it the best place that it could possibly be. I love my people. Anybody could tell you that. Y'all are my people. Y'all are definitely my people. And I will be in this community to the best of my ability. So with that being said, thank you. I'm so happy to be here to represent this city now, and I look forward to my future here. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll open it up to some questions from the assembled media here. As a reminder, please use the microphones that are being passed around. Wait until you're called upon, and then identify yourself and your affiliation before asking your question. John, want to get us started?
Jimmy, John Krasinski with Associated Press. I know the dust is still settling here, but when you look at the talent that you're surrounded with and the coaches that you have, I mean, what are your initial impressions of the expectations that you have for this team?
I think our expectation is going to be to win. That's why they brought me here. These young guys are really, really, really talented. I'm just here to push them to the best of their abilities, and I know that they're going to do that. They're going to come in each and every day and work, which is all you can ask for them. And we're going to put this team together the right way. We're going to get this city on track.
Jimmy, Joe Colley from the Chicago Sun-Times. Right here. You know, you've been pretty quiet, subdued this week, but there's been some shots fired in your direction. Antoine Walker questioned you as a locker room guy, and then obviously down in Chicago, there's been some momentum from personalities that you can't build a team around you. How frustrating has that been that this stuff is coming out now and what should be, you know, a celebration week for you?
It's not frustrating. It's expected. Somebody's got to take the blame. I'll be that guy. I'm okay with it. I'm fine. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. But with that being said, my phone's in my back pocket right now. If whoever has anything to say to me, feel free. 773-899-6071. So if you want to interview, there you have it. Please do. Remember that.
Jimmy, Joe Schmidt, 5 Eyewitness News. Can you repeat that number? I missed it. A question for you. How active will you be in recruiting free agents to come and join this Timberwolves team? Because you must feel that you're not too far away from contending.
Oh, yeah. We're good. Really good. And I'll be talking to a lot of really good players, much better than myself, I would tell you that, and get them here to join what we have. I know that with the support that I've already felt from this city, they're definitely going to love it. Getting here with this young core, winning these games, anybody's going to want to be a part of that. Now it's all about getting the right fit to fit with these guys.
Jimmy, Mike Max from WCC Radio and TV over on this side.
Gotcha.
What was it? What did you see when you played against the Timberwolves this last year under Coach Timber? What do you see about the culture of this team, or what would they like to play against?
Obviously, hard to play against because they beat us both times. Let's just get that out the way. But I mean, an incredible coach who studies the game. He could probably tell you a lot about my game and how to stop me from doing what I do. We don't want to get into it, but I mean, Carl taking off from the free throw line in the United Center is never a pretty sight. Now it's beautiful because I'm a teammate. But I mean, these guys can really play. Put the ball in the basket. We're going to guard. We're going to get out in transition. Put some highlights on ESPN, SportsCenter, all of that good stuff. We're going to be tough. We're going to be tough. I'm looking forward to it, just to play with these guys, because they play with so much joy. They have fun, and they want to get better. And when you put that all together on one team, I mean, they talk about sky being the limit, but I think we can go a lot higher than that.
Jimmy, right in front here, Don Mitchell, Fox 9 here in town. It's not long ago when you were the young guy that came in and Tibbs had to kind of show you the way. Do you feel that now it's your responsibility to kind of take the younger guys under your wing and kind of show them the Tibbs way, kind of like 1-2 punch?
Definitely. I think everybody's going to get tired of Tibbs' voice every now and again. I'll tell you that. That raspy voice, I love it, but I hate it sometimes too. So that's when I come in. I know what he expects. I know what I expect, and they probably know what they expect of themselves. But with that being said, I think when you put me and him together and we're both preaching, teaching greatness and the techniques of everything, it's just crazy to think that I'm 27 years old and I'm old. Like, that's the craziest part. But I got Tibbs back, he has mine, and we're going to be in this thing together.
Tom, building off that, what kind of an asset is it for you to have someone who knows you so well, who knows your system, who knows your language, to help you with relaying that to the players that you have here?
Well, I talked to Jimmy about that, and we had the opportunity to build our team around him in Chicago. When Derrick Rose got injured, we had no choice, and the more responsibility Jimmy had gotten, the better he responded. So I know he has the ability to make other people a lot better. I watch what Carl and Andrew are doing every day, and what they've done is pretty special. And Jimmy has just gone through that. So I think he can share some of those experiences with them. Jimmy's 27, so he's just entering his prime. It fits perfectly with our team. And to Joe, respond to some of that other stuff, and Jimmy knows this, whether it's praise or criticism, to treat it the same. The only thing that really matters is what we think. And we think he's a great player and he's a great addition.
Jimmy, Jace Frederick, St. Paul Pioneer Press. This team really struggled at times on the defensive end of the floor last year. How much of an impact do you think you can make towards really helping the team climb to the top in that part of the game?
I better have a pretty big impact on that, since that's the reason why I started to stick in this league, is because I was okay at defense. Whenever you show them what defense can really get you in this league and how teams have turned around because they've played defense, I think you really want to do it. And you realize when you play both sides of the floor that you are viewed as much more of a player, a complete player. And that's your way to greatness. And I think all of these guys are chasing that, being greatness. So you got to play both sides. So we'll lock in on that end of the floor.
This question is for Tom and Jimmy. Tom, I know how you're going to react to this because I know how much you love rehashing history. But at the same time, both of you have gone through this experience with the Bulls where you just can't leave that team with a smile on your face. There always seems to be spit flying from in their direction, whether it's publicly or through leaks or sources. What's your guys' feeling about that? And again, I mean, does it just feel like, why can't you just let us go with a smile on our face?
And Joe, the big thing for us is we're looking ahead to what we have here. We don't look backwards. This game doesn't work that way. And for the most part, our experience there was great. We won a lot of games together. Jimmy achieved greatness there. So we're thrilled that we have the opportunity here, because I think it's not only a great fit for us, but it's a great fit for Jimmy as well. I know that how this league works, and there's a lot of players that look at our team now and think that this is a great place to play. And a big part of that is the things that Carl has done, what Wig has done, and now you get a player of Jimmy's caliber. It makes it very attractive. So we're just thinking of our challenge and what we have to do. We're not going to get lost in any sideshows or distractions. We're going to be focused on what we have to do.
For me, I already said how much love I have for the city of Chicago. They gave me an opportunity to come into this league and play at a very high level. I don't have any bad things to say about anybody in that organization, in that city. They took a chance on a kid from Tomball who didn't know where he belonged. But now, this new chapter, this new era, I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy here. They embrace me already. I'm ready to move forward. And like I said, I'm shaking, I'm hugging everybody whenever I walk into that arena coming up.
Coach and Jimmy, maybe both of you, you talk about toughness and elevating toughness. Do you teach toughness? Can you teach toughness, or do you draft and trade and sign toughness?
I can tell you about Jimmy. Jimmy walked into that gym tough. That's who he is. It's a big part of his makeup. As I mentioned, that first year, when he would come in and work, and I always notice, I see everything. You don't have to tell me what you're doing. I can see what you're doing. And so when the season began, every time I looked down to the bench to make a substitution, I could feel these two eyes like staring through me. And if I called another name, he'd kind of jump up to try to get in the game. And then eventually when he did get in, he didn't want to come out either. And the way he works every day, and it's not just the physical toughness, it's the mental toughness that goes along with it. And that's a big part of winning, and that's in him. That's who he is.
All right, thank you for all the questions. We will conclude our press conference here today. We'll now have Tom, Scott, and Jimmy pose for a photo, and then we'll have all three of these guys open for one-on-ones. Thanks so much for attending this afternoon, and we hope to see you out at Target Center this season.